Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Saturday. It is Coach Coffee here in the great state of Texas. What's up, everybody? I am officially a certified life coach, so I'm going by Coach Coffee. It's got a cute little ring to it. I'm like, hey, I like Coach Coffee. I like that. It's got a little swag to it. I like it. I like it a lot. So anyway, I made a commitment to you guys to make certain that I give you content on YouTube to be able to hang out with me from time to time and just have some little dialogue and discussions about life, relationships, our faith, our family, our fitness, our finances, just various topics. Nothing really major, not right now, that I'm going to be doing. At some point, I'm going to do an a video about why I moved to Houston. Um, so I haven't really put that into action just yet. I haven't actually sat down and did an outline and things like that because I didn't want to do it off the cuff. I wanted to kind of put it into a nice little narrative before I share it with you guys. But I do have an update. Okay, so back in 2012, when I first got to Houston, I used to read a lot of ethnic books on relationships for a long time. I was captivated by it. I really enjoyed authors like Eric Jerome Dickey, um, Ashley Antoinette Jaquavis. It's a few other artists or books authors that I used to listen to from Blackstone Audio and actually have their books in hand. Also, I read Russell Simmons' book about Super Rich, which wasn't about money. It was really a cool book. I read Steve Harvey's book, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. Of course, that was not back then. It was a little bit more progressive as far as his book is concerned. But I started just diving into a lot of ethnic authors and kind of listening and reading and finding out how we write, how people of color write versus people of other hues. And and so I've always had this creative niche to write. I used to write a lot of poetry when I was younger. Back in 2009, when my home burned down, I just kind of lost the desire to write, even though I still could write really well. I just kind of lost the desire of it. It's kind of like during that time when that fire happened, a part of me like burned away for a season. It's hard to really explain, but I just didn't have the passion and love for for it in that time frame because I had lost so much content. I didn't put everything electronically. That was back in 2009, so I wasn't really as engaged electronically as I am now, which means I lost a whole lot of information because I was still, doing things by hand. I have a love to write, just write things out. So now I've learned to write it out, take a picture, upload it to my computer. So that way, if something were to happen to any one of these books, as a matter of fact, I have a couple of composition books that I need to do that with now. But should something happen and I lose those composition books, I still will have the information. So I said all that to say this. I I struggled with what type of books to write for a while. And the reason why I did is because I grew up very religious. My parents are very, very religious people. And so because of that, I felt like I'd be scrutinized by the religious quote unquote community because my father is an active pastor, bishop, leader, things like that. And so I was like, man, if I start writing what I really feel, then I'm going to be scrutinized for it and I'm going to have to deal with those issues. And I just don't want to deal with all the people dramas. And so recently I was on a live and I was talking and I started to share about this book that I wrote. It's called A Date with Destiny. And I think the tagline was, I'm married. Oh, I really want him, although I'm married to you. And it's a really intense book. It's about a professional lady and a professional man who get married. They have some children. The husband ends up having a relationship with their nanny. And then the wife goes to get gas one day, and she meets this guy, and it went all left from there. It went all left from there. All she did was leave the house to get some gas. She was so upset about the situation with her husband dealing with the nannies. She goes to get gas, and bam, she meets this incredible guy, and it just goes left. Anyway, the book is very graphic. It's very graphic as far as the intimate components of it. The language of it is a little bit more on the graphic side. It's real edgy, real edgy. And because it was so edgy, I was kind of reluctant to go ahead and publish it. Yet, that book always resonated with me. I had several people to read the manuscript and they were impressed by it. It needed a little bit more meat to it, but they were really impressed with the content of the book. And they were like, wow, this is really a good book and you should publish it. Anyway, I made a decision probably about 2 months ago, no, less than 2 months ago, to go ahead and have the book published. I sent it to someone to finish it out for me as far as putting the rest of the meat into the book. And I'm going to go ahead and publish it. I just got done connecting with someone to do my book cover, my ebook information, and things like that. So I'm excited about it. So nonetheless, here it is. I'm doing life coaching. I've been writing. And the next thing I want to do is go ahead and get my first album out back in 2010. I was doing a lot of live shows with some guys who were rap artists. They were Christian rap artists at the time, but we were doing some live shows. I did some background vocals for them, and we were going all over the place doing shows for the younger community. It was really nice. I had a great time during that time. And so we were recognized by an underground hip hop magazine. And with the underground hip hop magazine, there was an opportunity for me to go ahead and do a tribute album to like Whitney Houston, Luther Vandross, Gerald Levert, um, now Aretha Franklin. I can add her to the equation. Several artists that came before us, Prince. And I wanted to do this album as a tribute to those artists. There's certain songs that I know I can sing really well and kind of like just play with and just do a little nice little raw tribute album. And so that's another thing that I want to start working on. I'm going to work on that in 2020, build up some studio time and connect with someone here in Houston, or go do it in Jacksonville. Either one. I have some friends in the industry in Jacksonville that I can get some nice studio time at a very reasonable price and go ahead and lay some tracks. And I'm excited about that. But the greatest thing that I'm excited about is what's been going on with me, because people are like, oh my God, oh my God, you're glowing. This year I made a decision. Even though I started in 2011, I made a decision to go ahead and just deal with all my issues, deal with all my challenges, deal with the things that I was still afraid of, and just go ahead and go for broke. Um, and I'll share with you guys one thing that I struggled with. Will died in July 9th of 2011. And so because he passed away, Yasmin was 8, Maya was 10, and Miles was 11. No, Miles was 12. Maya was 11 and Yasmin was 8 when Will died. And I know some of you guys can relate to this if you've dealt with the death of a former spouse. Every 6 months or every year or every something with the schoolwork, the school paperwork or something, it always kept asking where he was. Basically, what's the daddy's name and all, and so for the longest time, up until this year, I just kept going through this grieving. I would be fine for a while, but every time I would see his name pop up on something or a document, I would just go into these ugly little bouts of depression. It was just, oh my God, it was a roller coaster emotional ride for me. And so this year I said, you know what? This man has been dead all these years, and I cannot go through this again. I made a conscious choice And I just dealt with it. I went ahead and dealt with the fact that he's not going to be around for their weddings. He's not going to be around for graduation. He's not going to be around when the girls have children. He's not going to be around when Miles becomes a husband and father, and he becomes some kind of successful, whatever. He's just not going to be here. He's dead. And I had to just tell myself, Will is dead. He's not coming back. There's no way he's going to be here. So you have got to just make this your truth and just roll with the rest of your life. You're hurting yourself. I'm going to just say it. You're hurting yourself and you're stagnant because you have not accepted the fact that this man is dead. He's not coming back. Get it out of your subconscious. Get it out of your conscious mind. You've got a life to live, and you're not living your life because every time I turn around, you're going through some kind of grief when it comes to him. And so this year I made that decision. I said, you know what? I'm going to take these grave clothes off. I'm going to take the grave clothes off from the divorce. I'm going to take the grave clothes off from the fire. I'm going to take the grave clothes off from Will's death. 2009, 10, and 11 were just extremely traumatic for myself and my family. And I finally came to a place this year where I said, I am done. I am totally done. Everything, all is well. I have a brand new life, and I need to live. I've got to live. And last year, a lady at my church said to me, and she pretty much spoke the beauty back into my life. And she said, you're not going to be happy until you do what you were created to do. She was like, you have so much in you that you can give the world, and you're not going to be happy till you do it. And she is a big time international recording artist, Deidre Greathouse. And I'm so appreciative to her just spending some time with me a few times last year and just kind of talking to me and kind of helping me to get through some things. But anyway, all of a sudden, when I released everything, you guys, the floodgates opened. The energy to write, the energy to sing, the energy to start back pouring into people's lives, the desire to want to be here for someone else. I mean, like when I wake up in the morning, I'm super charged thinking, what am I going to do today to give to somebody else? I'm talking about, I haven't felt like this in a long time. And I've never felt like this ever. Like I've always been a giving person, but the what I feel now, the energy that I feel, the desire that I feel to just give my life away is so huge. I can feel it every time I wake up. Every morning I wake up, I jump out of bed. I feel supercharged. I don't care if I slept for 3 hours or 6 hours. I don't normally sleep past 6 hours, but if I sleep for 3 hours or 6 hours, I wake up, I'm charged up, and I'm excited about what I'm going to be able to offer to the world. And, I'm grateful. And I just wanted to encourage anybody who has had some very challenging times. I mean, grief is bad, to have a fire and lose everything tangible that you have, then to go through a dissolution of a marriage, then to turn around and the person that you end up divorced from dies. Will was a great father. We had our issues as far as adults, but the guy was an impeccable dad, really a great dad. And to have to go through life and just continue to be a mom, raise the children, and just do everything that I need to do for myself and keep moving. It was hard for me. It was very, very hard for me. And I only confided in maybe two people through my journey. And I don't know. It was hard for me to really find my way in totality. But now I have just really come alive again. And I'm so happy. And that's why I went ahead and went and got my life coach certification, because I want to help people to do what I did. I started getting tools for my life, to rebuild my life. I'm talking about strong tools, the right type of books, the right type of conventions, the right type of ambiances, the right type of friendships and relationships, people that were stronger than me, better than me, faster than me, doing impeccable things overcoming odds, making things happen, creating. So I started surrounding myself by creators, around creators and visionaries and people who were very serious about their future endeavors and fighting for their families and fighting for their faith and fighting for their fitness and fighting for their finances, and just started to see myself differently. I started to attract into my life people who were already totally free in every area of their life, and just started to really be excited again and happy and grateful and blessed. So now I have gotten to a place of tremendous peace where I'm no longer concerned about being judged for the books that I write, for the words that I say, for the decisions that I make. Just being totally at peace with who I am as a woman is so absolutely incredible. I've heard women talk about this space of life before, and I've heard them say it, and I'm like, man, I sure really want to know what that feels like. And I do now. And I am just abundantly grateful, abundantly grateful. I'm grateful for this crazy, wild hair y'all see. I'm like, oh, this hair is crazy. I'm grateful for it. Before I used to complain about it, but there's somebody in the world that wish they had this crazy, wild hair. Um, I'm grateful for it. I mean, I'm just grateful, man. I'm just stupid grateful, like crazy, crazy thankful to the creator of the universe for how he created me and how he's using me now. And I found a new love for my family, a new love for my children, a new love for my friends, a new stupid love for myself that, I look in the mirror now and I do not ignore my defects. I embrace my defects. Man, I was standing in the mirror earlier today, y'all, and I was like, man, you got some battle scars. I mean, like, I got scars everywhere. I got scars. I mean, they everywhere, man. But I just smile now because I'm like, I'm alive. I'm really alive. I'm alive. I made it through. I made it. I'm on the other side now. And so I just wanted to encourage anyone that has had to face oh God, some hard times in your life. It may take you a long time like it took me. It took me some years. But don't beat yourself up. Forgive yourself. Love on yourself. Get in that mirror until you stop hiding your defects and you start embracing your defects. Get in the mirror until you start loving yourself and telling yourself you are one hell of a woman, or I'm an incredible man, or I'm the man, I'm the woman. I am the best thing since sliced bread. Whatever you have to do to be in love with you so you can love your neighbor as yourself. You can't really love anybody else until you're deeply in love with yourself. Take yourself out on dates. I take myself out every week. Every week I take myself out on a date. Um, Sometimes I just go sit in Wendy's. I don't eat anything. I just sit there and kind of just smile, just grateful. Or I go to Panera's, or sometimes I go to a very high end spot. Just depends on how I'm feeling. And I'm just very much in love with myself now. I really care about me. I really care about me. I care about what happens to me. I care about who's in my life and why they're in my life. And I care about how I treat myself, in every area of my life, how I treat myself, how I handle, the affairs of my life, the relationships, how I balance things with working and, making sure I still give my daughter the adequate time that she needs because she's 16. I still have a couple more years to finish rearing her, and I will not cheat my daughter out of the opportunity to have me like her brother and sister have had. So just being cognizant of everything in my surroundings. And I'm just so grateful. So I thought that I would take a little time and share with you guys. Be grateful. It's hard. Life is not going to be easy. It's not fair. It's challenging. But baby, when you get your bearings and you find your way, just go help somebody else. Okay. This is Coach Koffe in the great state of Texas, and I love y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know this is a little bit longer than I usually go, but I just had to share that with you guys, and I thank y'all so much for supporting me and taking this journey with me. And I appreciate you guys, and I'll see y'all in the future.